Hello, this is Mrs. Sasek. Today's video is the original 10 amendments and the Bill of Rights. This is your title for your notes. Remember to write anything in purple and to be listening for any other important notes or doodles along the way that you need to also include in your notes. Today our guiding questions are: what are the Bill of Rights? What rights do each of the first 10 amendments protect? And how are these amendments applied in real life? Amendment 6 is about rights of the accused, rights who are accused of a crime. So there are several things that are included in this. The right to a speedy trial. Well, it doesn't say what a speedy trial is. Trials do get delayed for evidence and other things like that, but the purpose is that you're not waiting in a cold, dark, dirty prison for many, many years like some people did during the rule of King George III. You have the right to a jury, and you have the right to a lawyer. You have a right to a defense. So even, I'm sure some of you might know, lawyers can be very expensive. So even if you are super poor, you are able to have an attorney. There will be one assigned to you to help you form a defense to make sure you have the most fair trial possible. For this amendment, I would like you to draw a clock to represent the speedy and public trial. So there you see there's attorney, and then a jury is a group of random people who are chosen in the community. It's usually about 12 people. When you turn 18 and register to vote, you are put into this pool and chosen randomly to participate in jury duty. Amendment 7 protects the right to a trial by jury in civil court cases. So the writers of the Bill of Rights wanted to make sure the government would not do away with trial by jury. They were concerned that if trials were only decided by judges, the judges would side with the government, giving the government too much power. Hence, that's why we have trial by jury for Amendment 6 as well. This happened to the colonists when judges, who were appointed by the king, would always side with the king. They felt a jury of local people would be more likely to provide a fair trial. So a civil case is a non-criminal case. They involve disputes or arguments between two private citizens or organization. So usually the victim is someone who sues for damages, usually in the form of money. So things that you would see on those Judge Judy, Judge Joe Brown, those are their TV, but they're kind of examples you would think of. So suing for damages over products, those who were injured in accidents, who have medical bills or lost wages, arguments over property, businesses suing each other for lost services, and things like that. So there you see jury, again, same thing. It would be a jury of 12 people in the community, randomly selected. I would like you to draw a money bag for this amendment, just to represent that it's a civil case and it usually deals with money. Amendment 8 prohibits excessive bail, excessive fines, and cruel and unusual punishment. Some people ask, is the death penalty considered cruel and unusual? At first, of course it is. However, when the Constitution in 1791 was written, the death penalty was a common punishment for murder and other serious crimes. We've talked about this when we talked about treason. How people were executed for committing treason against their country. It was not considered cruel and unusual. Cruel and unusual is considered humane back then, but the Supreme Court today said that the death penalty is not protected by the 8th Amendment. Despite this ruling, people would like to see the death penalty abolished in the United States. So that is one, argument that people have about cruel and unusual punishments, is they think the death penalty it applies under that law. Another example of cruel and unusual punishment, let's say I go to Walgreens and I steal a box of Sour Patch Kids, and I'm found guilty of stealing this candy, and the judge fines me to life in prison for stealing one box of candy. That would be a cruel and unusual punishment. An excessive fine would be making me pay, I don't know, for that same crime, like $10 million for committing a crime of how much does that cost? Like $1 for a box of Sour Patch Kids. So that is an example of excessive fines. The government cannot make you do a ridiculous jail sentence or punishment or fine you a ridiculous amount of money. It should be related to the severity of the crime that you have been accused of or convicted of. Amendment 9 states that the list of rights described in the Constitution are not complete. So thinking about equal rights, it's just saying that the Founding Fathers were smart. They knew that times were going to change. They knew that the things that they were in the 1700s were not going to be the same even 50 years later. So they wanted to put something in there saying that, you know, just because it's not written in here in the Bill of Rights or in the Constitution doesn't mean it doesn't exist. So thinking about equal rights, thinking about the right, and this is silly, to have a donut, the right for you to eat tacos, the right for you to have clean air, to jump up and down, the right for you to dye your hair green, the right for you to have clean water. These are just some minor, silly examples, but think about that. Think about all the other things that you are able to do that isn't necessarily, we haven't talked about yet, even in this video. You have the ability to do that because of the 9th Amendment. The 10th Amendment gives all powers not given to the United States government or the Constitution to the states or the people. So our federal or national government has special powers for us to do things. So having the military and raising the armed forces, declaring war on people and other countries. Let's see, Congress has that power. Collecting taxes, regulating trade between the states, maintaining a national bank. Implied powers that are considered necessary and proper to carry out the laws of the Constitution. Powers of state governments include traffic laws, collecting local taxes, issuing your driver's license, marriage licenses, health codes, holding local elections, and also educational laws. Each state kind of has their own idea of how they feel like their school system should be run, so they are in control of what, you know, things that you should learn in each grade are required. They also work on, you know, maintaining the roads within the state.